everybody. Good evening, y'all. How y'all doing? Good to see everybody. All right, we'll try again. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Good. It's really good to be here. I've been on BUSCH Campus an awful lot this year since I transitioned away from BUSCH Campus. I'm on College Avenue now. But BUSCH is always home. And as I always say when I come back, thank you all for having me back. Thank you for including me still. Y'all are family for me. So some of y'all know me, some of y'all don't. But I'm grateful to have this opportunity. This is actually my first keynote speech ever. This is my first keynote speech. A lot of talks, a lot of workshops, a lot of trainings, but to give an actual keynote is amazing. So to set this up just a little bit, Dr. King has always been one of my select chosen few people that I call hero, that I call my example. He is actually the inspiration for me in my work in social justice education. So to have been asked to stand in front of you all to give this keynote speech, hopefully to inspire you in some way, whether it's a little bit or a lot, it's an honor for me to stand and give this talk to you. So hopefully it won't be a long talk, hopefully about 5 to 10 minutes. I actually wrote it down, something I usually don't do. So you have to bear with me as I don't have a podium to scroll through, but I will try my best to, in the fashion of Dr. King, to be brief, but also to speak slowly so you can understand everything that I'm gonna say. Y'all ready for this? Yeah. I'll never be ready for this. Okay. So tonight I want to talk to you about, obviously it's very cliche to talk about a dream when we think of Dr. King, right? And so I'm probably going to travel around just a bit to get a little closer to everybody. But I want to talk about how you all are the dream. So Dr. King said that he had a dream and he talked about what that dream was. But I want to talk to you about you are that dream. My entire speech tonight is going to be around making your dream a vision and a reality. And so at the end of this, you'll hear me say, a dream or a vision without any action is just you daydreaming. So tweet that. That's a good tweet. That's a good tweet. All right, so at the end of the day, your vision or your dream with no action is a what? Daydream. Don't get caught daydreaming. We shall overcome someday. The Lord will see us through someday. We're on to victory someday. We will walk hand in hand someday. We are not afraid today. The truth shall make us free someday. We shall live in peace when? Someday. All right. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall live in peace when? Someday. So thank you to Reverend Dr. Charles Albert Tindley for composing such a song of hope, a song of strength, vision, and emotion. Let us ask each other these questions in response to this song this evening. What is it that we need to overcome today? What is it that we need the Lord to see us through? What will we have victory over someday? Are we really walking hand in hand? Is it true? Are we not afraid? Now we know the truth of most matters. So does that mean we're living and practicing freedom? Where is the peace that we are striving to live in? These are real questions that require critical and thoughtful answers. So tonight we are a room full of servant leaders, people who have desire and passion to give unto others first, to do in order to make someone else more comfortable or even happy. The leader in us wants to set the example of what being a servant looks like and behaves like. We are a room full of servant leaders. Now, I've said it before, it's cliche to talk about dreams when we reference Dr. King. So let us discuss the reality of a dream. The first step of that is to acknowledge that we dream and have vision because we see greater and we want better. Better from the current format, the way of the world, better from ancient traditions and even old policies. Better from what is right now to a manifestation of what could become. So we should opt to acknowledge the injustices of today and the struggle of our society to adequately support families living in poverty, care for those without health insurance, to strengthen the safety for our young men and women of color, to find a balance of compromise between government and sexuality, to hear the cries of those fighting wars for our country, or our cities, or even individually. See, the war is not only on the battlefield, but it's in our minds also. Dr. King said, skin may differ, but affection dwells in black and white just the same. He said, I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of the man. See, your soul is the core of you. It's the depth of you. It's the passion of you. And good Lord, it's the fire that burns within you. Does anybody have a soul in the room? Yes. Okay, I want to see if you're still with me. If your mind is the standard, your mind is the place of set expectation, the place where you get your command from, your values, your example of how to do it, and how to know how to do it. Unity is key among us. If we cannot get on one accord, get to one mission, and have one mind, love and service cannot be exalted. Each of us has a responsibility and a contribution of love and service as a servant leader. If you're not putting into the cause a forward motion, consider yourself taken away from the cause, from strength, from change, from equality, from equity, from love, and from happiness. Dr. King encourages by saying, our slogan must not be burn, baby, burn, but it must be build, baby, build. Build yourself in knowledge. Shower yourself in courage. Stand in your truth. The truth of you will show through the acts of you. And if Maya Angelou could say, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. That means you have to do something to show something. Today, own your space in this thing called activism. Activism is simply participating in the fights or the plight of progression. Dr. King said it best. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley. But be the best little shrub on the side of the hill that you can be. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, be a trail. And if you can't be the sun, be a star. For it is not by the size that you win or you fail. Be the best at whatever you are. If you cannot be a tree on the top of a hill, be the shrub in the valley. But be the best little shrub on the side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by the size that you win or you fail, but be the best whatever you are. So I encourage you tonight, BUSCH Campus, take your place in progress. Dr. King possessed a quiet influence of leadership. He led the masses with such conviction, yet he never needed to be outrageous. There was a boldness in his character, a confidence in his charisma, and attraction to his delivery. What is your place in the progression of mankind? What is your place in the uplifting of your peers? How do you stand when you stand with others? And how do you show up on the scene? Ask those questions again. What is your place in the progression of mankind? What is your place in uplifting your peers? How do you stand when you stand with others? And how do you show up on the scene? Listen, people will criticize you for owning who you are. Not just being who you are, but owning who you are. For building strong character. For fighting against privilege and oppressive systems. For loving beyond the hurt of history. And for standing in the truth of love, as Reverend King taught us. It is important to know that in your life's blueprint, there should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Listen, you got this, and can't nobody move you. Yes, if you want to say that I was a drum major and say that I was a drum major for success, say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness. and all the other shallow little things won't even matter. Dr. King said that. So this is a charge of self-assessment, community contribution, for movement, for justice, for peace, for love, for you, each and every one of you. Take your place in progression. You belong here. You belong here. It's our time to stand and be heard. If not now, then when? If not you or me, then who? Remember, a vision with no action is only... Don't get caught daydreaming. Thank you.